Hey, what's up guys? I'm BTC. Roadhog is getting a pretty substantial buff, but is Blizzard actually buffing the right part of the character? Is this going to be enough to drag him out of the bottom of the barrel? Over the last 5 or 6 months, Blizzard took Roadhog, which was a moderately solid character. He wasn't amazing, but he wasn't terrible either. And they basically nerfed him into oblivion. Nerf after nerf just completely added up to the point where he is now the second lowest win rate on the ladder, and he went from about a 40 to 50% pick rate in Pro Tournament all the way down to a very consistent 0%. The increase to his cooldowns, the reduction in damage, basically breaking his hook entirely, just made the character not really viable anymore. In fact, oftentimes when someone sees a Roadhog on the ladder, they actually get excited because then they know that, oh, that's pretty much a free kill at this point. Where Roadhog used to be able to hook someone and then get a kill, now if he hooks someone, that player knows for almost a certainty that they're just going to be able to escape, and it's not really a big deal. Like, people don't even really play around the hook anymore because they know even if it lands, they're probably not going to get killed by it. Over on the official Blizzard forums, people have been complaining about where Roadhog is right now after all of the nerfs, and what can be done to change him and make him viable again. And there's always a lot of suggestions. I myself have made a big video about what they could do with Roadhog in order to make him a little bit better, and one of the most common suggestions is, well, let him continue to move around when he's using his breather, or give him a little bit of damage reduction at this time. So Jeff Goodman, the principal designer for Overwatch, actually responded, and he said, "We're actually testing this exact thing right now internally. Currently, we have been playtesting Roadhog with minus 50% damage taken while using Take a Breather, and also allowing him to move at full speed while inhaling. These two changes combined certainly make him significantly more difficult to kill, while also allowing Roadhog players to be much more aggressive when trying to find a hook target, knowing they can survive a lot more easily. We plan on throwing this up on the PTR ASAP, along with some other hero changes that he doesn't actually mention, so you guys can play with it as well. It's possible it's actually too strong right now, but we'll have some time to iterate on it." Alright, so I'm just gonna come out and say it right away, bluntly. This is a bad idea, and it's not going to fix Roadhog in any meaningful way. And let me tell you why. So first up, Roadhog's main problem is he's stuck in between being a bruiser and an actual tank. Now, a bruiser is a character with high health that can also deal a good amount of damage. Basically what Roadhog used to do. And a tank is someone with high health who's good at protecting the teammate, or at least distracting the enemies so that they fire on him instead of the supports or the DPS. Roadhog can't do either of those things effectively right now. And this change doesn't improve that. In fact, it actually makes it worse. So right now, Roadhog can't do enough damage. His hook is not threatening enough because he can't actually follow up and get the kill. So right now, in Roadhog's current state, he's essentially an ult battery that for the most part you can ignore. He doesn't put out threatening enough damage to prioritize, but he also doesn't have that ability to really protect his teammates, so you don't have to take him out first. You just shoot at him whenever you need to build your ult charge. So this buff to Roadhog isn't going to change that. Instead, it's actually going to encourage it even more. See, what happens when an enemy target has like a Discord on them? Your team is going to focus that target because they're taking more damage. But what happens when an enemy has a damage reduction on them, like, for example, Fortify from Orisa? You don't keep shooting at Orisa when she's in Fortify, you switch to another target. Well, the thing is, Orisa can actually do other things. She can put up barriers and be a nuisance. But Roadhog can't do that. He doesn't pose enough of a threat or enough of a nuisance to actually prioritize killing him. And if you thought he was an ult battery before, it's gonna get even worse, because now this new version of him is gonna be like the supercharged, nuclear-powered ult battery. So yeah, while he has his 50% damage reduction going on, you'll get less charge from that. But again, you shouldn't be shooting at him while he's doing that anyways. So what's going to happen is, you're going to prioritize killing the other targets, you'll shoot Roadhog until he starts to heal, switch back to the other targets, and then once they're dead, then you can go back to Roadhog. There's no incentive to killing Roadhog. In fact, your team probably benefits by letting him be the last one alive. You prioritize an enemy Reinhardt or Orisa because they have huge barrier shields. You prioritize the Winston because he can get into your backline and harass your supports way too effectively. Zarya can do way too much damage in general, so you gotta take her out. She's practically a DPS. And then D.Va can completely shut down your DPS, so you gotta take her out. But what about Roadhog? He doesn't do enough damage or anything significant to be enough of a nuisance to warrant prioritizing him. It's just not there. Now here's the thing though, if Roadhog could actually do a respectable amount of damage, then yes, he would be a big enough threat where your team would have to prioritize focusing him and killing him even though he has that 50% damage reduction. It's the same thing with Nano Boost. Depending on what the enemy is that got Nano Boosted, your team needs to make a decision. The best thing would be to just put the target to sleep and wait for the 50% damage reduction to go away, but if you're not able to do that, if the target needs to be killed right now, then everybody can focus on it because it's a big enough threat. But if it's not a big enough threat, then your team just largely ignores it and attacks the other targets. It's gonna be the same thing with Roadhog anytime he uses a breather. There's just no reason to attack him or try to prioritize him. So once again, even with these changes, Roadhog is still stuck in that weird out-of-place spot where he's not quite a bruiser and he's not quite a tank. Now, I made a video a little while ago talking about what they could potentially do to change him, and honestly, it's a much better solution than what Blizzard has suggested, but it's not the only solution. Again, the problem with Roadhog is that he's not quite the bruiser, he's not quite the tank, so it doesn't matter what direction Blizzard decides to go, but they have to pick one of those directions and just go. Don't keep him in the middle of the road, he's gonna get hit by a car. So if you want to check out that video that I made before, there'll be a link down below so you can go and check that out. But what do you guys think about these changes that Blizzard is proposing? Do you think that it's actually gonna do anything? Let me know. Leave your feedback down in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to check out my Discord, where you can join the community and find other players to group with. The link for that is in the description. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button. Remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault. Also, special thanks to all my Patreon supporters for helping to make this all possible. If you'd like to see what kind of cool rewards you can get for supporting the channel, check the links on screen and down below.